Good evening and welcome to the MCFC 9320 Group podcast. Or should I say, in our land, it's PUBcast. Because this is a group that we just basically talk like we're in the pub. There's nothing untoward. It's all fun and laughter. And I just can't take my eyes off Andy's hair. He's actually got back from Turkey and look at that mop on his head. That is absolutely amazing.
I've not got a moped.
Why do you think I've got my hat on? Because I'm bald. I've been bald shamed.
Yep.
Right. Can I just say before we start? I'm being deadly serious here. Thank you for all our sponsors, because without them it wouldn't be possible for us to do this, would it, John?
No, not at all.
Bullshit.
Andy needs his hair paid for.
It's free of charge. It's free of charge. It costs us nothing but our time. We do it for your pleasure, guys.
Yep.
Andy, I'm just going to say, when you said you wanted me to sponsor this podcast, I didn't know I would be paying for you to go to Turkey on holiday and getting your syrup weaved in while you were out there.
No, it was a business trip. I was looking for more sponsors. I had to go to Turkey because I wanted to be sponsored by Bernard Matthews, because he's beautiful.
I thought he died.
Who've you modelled that hair on?
I've modelled it on Frankie Valley.
Right. Okay.
It
looks like you've been through the 4 seasons.
No. I was going to say, which season are you?
It's come back and I look more like Happy Valley.
So come on then, show us your pearly whites as well.
I've got to put them in later.
Okay.
I've got to go back for them. I've got to go back for my teeth to be done again. So carry on sponsoring the show, folks.
Yeah,
right.
All I can say is this podcast does not cost a penny to do. It's just our time, and we just do it for free because we enjoy doing it. And all we want is people to subscribe and listen and have a laugh. That's all we want. It doesn't cost you anything, like it doesn't cost us anything.
I get paid for this.
And that's why we know you get value for money.
Yep. I bet you do another podcast, Riz.
No. My time is free unless it's during the hours of 9 till 6.
Oh, so you have to do one better than Dolly Parton, don't you? Not this Parton.
Listen, if we'd have stuck our heads together, we'd have looked like Dolly Parton. But now, we'd look like Don King.
Bonking?
Yeah.
We look like we're bonking.
I'm getting mine done. I'm going Turkey. I'm getting it done.
Good lad.
I am.
Right, then you won't be the other one out then, mate.
Let's get into it, host.
All right, let's kick off with actual city stuff instead of talking about Turkey and hair. I still can't take my eyes off that head, though.
I think Stephen Ireland. I thought he was Stephen Ireland. I thought we got to get footballer on.
I reckon every podcast host up and down the country from City should wear one of these.
What do you mean wear it? It's implanted, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Glued on.
The kiwi.
I like the little pointy bit in the middle.
Yeah, the little.
Sorry? It's my camera
Like
too low.
the Addams family.
Are we getting on with it?
Yeah, we're getting on with it. Anyway, I just want to give a shout out to our best listener, Patrick, because he listens. He actually messages us every week saying, "Come on, guys, get it done. I want to listen." Because
and Tony,
although he doesn't like Andy being on it.
Tony's got a good taste. Let's all be like Tony.
That was Alan.
Well, if we're going down that route, I had a fan message this week.
Did you?
Oh.
I did indeed. I got contacted by
Stevie Wonder,
Alan Ottawell.
Yeah.
Who loves our podcast.
But doesn't love Andy.
No.
I hope there was no pictures attached to that direct message. We don't condone that kind of behaviour on them OnlyFans that you do. Don't get your two accounts mixed up, Anne-Marie, because I know you've got one of them OnlyFans.
Or as Anne-Marie calls them, Maris pics.
Right. Come on. Let's get straight on to Mahrez's performance over the past couple of weeks. Anne-Marie, you kick off.
By all means. Come on, Anne-Marie.
Okay, I will go with the last two games, Tottenham and yesterday. I thought he was brilliant. I have to say it, he played really well and he was doing the things that I haven't seen him do, as in tracking back, tackling and chasing the ball.
Anne-Marie, you see him do plenty of things we've not seen him do.
especially tackling.
So I would have to say, yeah, a massive improvement in the last couple of games.
I hope this is recording, John.
Did you not get December Player of the Month?
He did win Player of the Month, I believe, but I don't think at that time he actually deserved it.
So
Whereas I think if you were voting for this one,
Player of the Month for December for matches that he played in January, that is genius. The guy's ahead of himself.
He is.
and rightly
what's
so,
to
he
come.
got man of the match on Thursday. And I think a close second for me was Rico Lewis on Thursday. I thought he had a great game and he was kicked all over the place by Tottenham.
By Højbjerg especially.
So let's kick off with the Spurs game.
Hang on a minute. You're not hosting it, Andy. You're just a guest. Stop pulling rank.
Okay, then. Let's kick off with the Spurs game then, shall we?
Why not?
Right.
Yeah, we had a desperate first half.
First half, we was absolutely terrible.
We were, but weren't playing particularly badly until their first goal. Once that goal went in, we seemed to go to pieces.
Yep.
You know, and it begs the question.
I want to ask a question.
Ederson's head.
Who heard booing? I didn't hear any.
Me?
I did.
There's no getting away from it. There was booing, and people say, "Oh, there was booing the referee." No, they weren't. If there was booing the referee, it'd have been when it was blown, and the referee and these assistants was in the centre circle, and that's normally when they get booed. The referees, the officials, when they're going off. There was booing because some City fans spoiled rotten, and it was out of order. And I can't blame Pep going on a rant like me now. Give your heads a wobble. We've won 4 or 5 Premier Leagues, plus all the cups. We've seen the best football we've ever seen in our lives, right? And we're getting booing because we're 2-0 down. As Anne-Marie quite rightly said, right? We didn't play bad. There was just 2 errors from Ederson. We was controlling the game. But oh no, because what's going on in some City fans' mind, I like this hair, by the way. What's going on in some City
I can't
fans'
take you serious having this rant. Sorry, mate. You're having a rant and you're looking like the 8th Beatle.
Right, so let me carry on, right? So, in some City fans' mind, we're not going to catch Arsenal. Listen, if we don't catch Arsenal this season, we don't deserve to win it, right? We're not going to win every single trophy, every single Premier League, every single game. We're not going to win every match, every game. We're going to draw matches, God forbid. We're going to lose matches, God forbid. That is football. We've not got a divine right to win every single game. So give your head to wobble and stop booing the best football we've ever seen in our lives. Second half, did you boo second half? No. Grow up.
Andy, I appreciate you, and I do agree to some extent, but I didn't boo. But for me, it comes down to watching certain players and some players not giving 100%, and
Like who?
that for me is unacceptable.
Like who?
Well, I'm not saying necessarily in the Tottenham game, but I think in previous games there's been players, and we can all call them out, who haven't given 100%. You know,
right.
A prime example is if you look at Foden. What's going on with Foden? He wasn't even in the squad yesterday.
Right,
Something's definitely going on with Foden.
Right, let me reply regarding Foden. This is my thoughts. Before the World Cup, there was 2 matches. I can't remember the matches now. And he bottled out of a challenge in 2 different matches. And for me, that says his mind was on the World Cup. So Pep's not stupid. He's not stupid. He knows those who are putting it in and not putting it in. He could have come back Foden as the main man. He's going to struggle now getting back into that starting 11 because Grealish is absolutely phenomenal at the minute, as is Mahrez. But you know something, against Spurs, even in the first half, it wasn't a bad performance. It happens, doesn't it? And is this absolute tool who sits behind me? He actually said when Mahrez scored against Spurs, he went like, "Oh God, I can't even boo Mahrez now." So I turned around and went, "Listen, you knobhead, why do you want slag off and boo your own players, you knobhead?"
I thought you sat next to Adam.
I tell you what, when Adam sees you, he's going to punch you right in the head because I've gone all hard. Now I've got
I tell you what,
I sit with it.
Said
the more angry
maybe.
you get, the higher your hair goes. It's like,
So come on, somebody tell me I'm wrong with me rant.
Andy,
just
you're not
say-
wrong.
You need to stop saying "take your head for a wobble" because if you wobble that head, that syrup's coming off.
yeah.
It's real.
Slip off.
You're not, Andy, you're not wrong. There's a certain sector of fans that think we should do everything and win everything.
Mm.
But
I saw one person, right, that they wanted to be entertained when they go to the game. Well, they're entertained. Where do you think they are?
well, yeah, we should be entertained.
Alice,
We pay to be entertained.
I
And
know,
that's just
but then
turned
when you
into
look,
Orville.
think of 20 years ago, we weren't entertained.
Oh, it was, but in a negative
We
way.
entertained
Can I
ourselves.
just say though,
we
you-
don't
you-
do
you
fun.
say-
If we
I
did
saw
fun,
this
we
and
won't be
the
City fans.
entertainment thing. I think you agreed with
Wow.
it, John.
Oh, hang on. He shaved his head again.
I do agree with it, but it's what your class has been entertained. You know, you want to see a load of trick ponies.
Yeah.
You want to see some lovely tippy-tappy football, but we don't win anything. You want to see people sliding in, doing mega tackles. Do you want to see us running down blind holes? Or do you want to win things and have a great atmosphere and feel like you've had your money's worth? Because to me, I got my money's worth against Spurs. It was an horrendous first half. Well, no, it wasn't a horrendous first half. Let's have it right. Two silly mistakes.
Yeah,
And,
it
you know,
was just
we were
two-
on top. We
couple
were
of
on, we
minutes.
were on top in that game.
Yeah.
Two stupid mistakes, two brain farts, and you know that's what can happen. But the second half, we turned it around. There was definitely booing because of the performance.
Yep.
You know,
It's-
I don't care what anybody says. That's not in doubt anymore.
These
but
past.
I walked away entertained. You know,
Yeah.
I walked away entertained.
By all means,
Were
but
we
the
booing
thing
against
is,
QPR when Aguero got the 93-20 goal? No, we weren't. We didn't boo then.
no. But the thing is, what it is, I think a lot of in people's heads was like Spurs again. You know, because everybody was classing them as our bogey team. And when them 2 goals went in, we all just sat back. I sat back and thought, "Oh my, here we go again." I didn't boo because I would never boo.
No.
But
think
obviously, people were sitting back thinking, "Oh, here we go again." Spurs at the Etihad, they turned into prime whatever. You know what I mean? But they were just our silly mistakes. Them 2 goals. It was Edison basically.
Spoiled brats, mate. I think that's what you're trying to say.
I think some of them, though, it's just born out of frustration, isn't it?
Don't care.
Yeah, but you still shouldn't boo.
We're just saying something. Well,
I've never booed.
what I like
ever.
is we duffed and puffed for 40 minutes.
I'll tell a lie. I have booed. UEFA.
Yeah. But I've never booed. I've never booed the team.
Nope.
The simplest thing to do at a football match, because the players don't know whether you're booing them, the referee's being booed, you're booing the opposition. If you all start booing, nobody knows who you're booing unless
Nope.
something specific has just happened. But at half time, if you boo, if you're not happy, do nothing. Don't clap.
I
Don't
agree,
cheer.
Riz.
Let them walk off silent.
I agree, Riz, but like I said a little bit earlier in the beginning of my rant, the officials, even at half time, always wait in the centre circle and they go off after the players have. So that once the players are off, the officials are still walking. If you want to boot the officials, that's the time to do it because they know.
Yeah.
And it wasn't it won't be to the extent of what we saw and witnessed.
No. It was
against Spurs
instant.
at
As soon as the
half-time.
referee blew the whistle for half time, the boos rang out.
Yep.
Yep.
But like I said, I didn't hear any from where I was. I couldn't hear any.
Yeah, well, you
You're too
wouldn't
busy
if you
pressing
were at the bar.
bips.
Say again. Anne-Marie?
I said you wouldn't if you were already at the bar.
I don't go to the bar.
No, he was having canapes served.
The one thing, though, I must admit, I did like about that first half, that after 40 minutes, we've been going hammering songs and nothing had happened. And at that point, when you can see things aren't going right, you need to get back to basics. So we got ourselves into a great position and went in 2-0 down. And we're happy when we're 2-0 down because we can come in the next half and just rattle the team straight off.
And it makes Josh happy as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Where is he? Anybody know? Now we've won 2 games on the bounce.
Well, it was interesting because, even before the game finished on Thursday night, he was commenting in the group. So I did say to him, I said that, that obviously he never learns a lesson and can't wait till the end of the game. And at the end of the game, I commented again and I asked him, where is he now? And he never actually came back to me, surprisingly.
Did you say, where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
Is he actually a City fan?
I'm not convinced. He swears blind he is, but I'm not convinced.
He's a season ticket holder, isn't he? Because he wasn't happy that he's not getting enough entertainment for his £900 season ticket. He said that on was it Thursday? That he's there to be entertained, and at £900 he wants entertainment.
Where's his £900 season ticket? Mine's not that much.
Mine's not that much.
Well, listen, by the by, there's plenty of those people out there at the minute, which is it doesn't sit well with me because it tarnishes the rest of us who, like I always say, if we never won another throw-in between now and me dying, I'd die a happy man.
I think there's a lot to be said though, because I do think the atmosphere has been struggling, and the entertainment. It's difficult because, like I just said, it depends what you mean by entertainment. But for me, our style of football sometimes does not promote a good atmosphere because it's very slow and we build up play and you move it about. Sometimes it's fantastic.
The second half against Spurs was fantastic.
I know, but that's the key thing. The second half, everything was quicker.
Yeah.
And in doing that, then you are going to get the fans involved.
Yeah.
But when you're constantly passing sideways, backwards, and it's all very slow, you're not going to get the fans behind you because the fans, with the best will in the world, are going to get frustrated by it because we're missing opportunities. There are times when we've got the ball in midfield and you can see Haaland making the move, and rather than play the ball to Haaland, we're playing it back out to the side again. And I just think that while I'm not of the opinion that we're paying to be entertained, because I've been a City fan too long for that.
We're paying. It's the old package, isn't it? I think
good or bad.
Riz alluded to it a few weeks ago. It's the old package. You go there. We go to Hong Kong, Chippy, name check. On the way to the match, it's part of the tradition. You meet mates in the pub and stuff like that. You sit next to the people, whether that's a home match or and whoever you meet on an away match. It's the whole day, and that for me is the entertainment. If you're not entertained on the pitch, Riz, how many times have we had entertainment on an away day on the coach and stuff like that? It's the whole package, isn't it?
We sometimes say that. Sometimes the football gets in the way of a great day out. We've done it in Europe, haven't we, John?
Yeah, we have.
We've gone to Europe. We've had a fantastic, day, and then we go to the match and it's rubbish. Either the game's not very good or the police
or VAR ruins it or something.
Or whatever. So, it's we each get something out of football. Now, for me, it's about the day, and I create my own entertainment with a group of friends that I've got. We do what Andy's just said, and if you're actually going to sit, for me, it's like going to a comedian and trying not to laugh and sit there going, "Go on then, make me laugh, say something funny." If that's the attitude you've got, if that's the attitude you've got, you ain't going to be made to laugh. You've got to go along to a comedy night expecting, and wanting to laugh. And at football, you've got to go expecting to enjoy yourself. If you go to a football match and sit there thinking, right, entertain me, well, unfortunately, you're going to get an eye into nothing because, you know, what do you want as entertainment? I want my emotions stirring up. And even if we lose, as long as we've done something and my emotions are stirred, I've had my money's worth. I've been entertained. I've done something that I wouldn't do. Sat at home. It's simple.
Riz,
Simple.
why is it down to the players to entertain us? In it, our responsibility equally to get the, especially when they're going through a bit of a lull, instead of because how many times, not just City players, where you see the players like that, you know, to the crowd. Come on.
Right. I'll put you into like a little. This isn't football related, right? This is just the difference the crowd can make, right? I do acting, right? I do a bit of acting. It's not very good, but I do a bit of acting, right?
Every time you come on a podcast, you do that,
right? So I do this acting now. When you've rehearsed,
I'm his agent, by the way. If you want to sign him up, I'll just give me a shout. No problem.
I do
extra work. No, you're all right.
So you're on stage. So you've been grafting for 6 weeks, rehearsing after work, and you've gone through the mill. It's been a good laugh, but it's been hard work. You get to on the show of the night, and the first gag or first line where there should be interaction from the audience, if you get it, the night goes great because it lifts you. It lifts everybody on stage. It lifts the performance. There's nothing worse than doing a show where there's a gag in there that every night gets a laugh, or every rehearsal has got a laugh, and then for whatever reason the audience are a bit subdued. Normally a Monday night when it's the season ticket holders, and they don't laugh, and instantly everybody backstage is like, "Oh my God, it's a bad audience," and it goes throughout everybody, and so that's at an acting level, right? And it's the same on a football pitch. If you've got moments of silence, or a player does a good tackle, or something goes in, and if the crowd don't respond when they normally would, or they do, that runs through you thinking, what we're doing wrong? Why are they not cheering? Why are they not singing my name this week? What have, you know? And I don't care what level football you are and how much you're paid. The audience have got, the audience, the crowd, whatever you want to call them, they've got a massive part to play in a game of football, tennis, anything. If you're in a crowd, you've got a massive part to play. And when the players are, feeling a little bit low, as a fan, I feel it's my duty. I can't kick the ball around on the pitch. I can't influence the game. But what I can do is I can show my support by singing and being positive and sending out positive vibes. And that's what it does. So if you're going to start booing, or you're not even going to sing or stand up or cheer or anything, why are you going to the football? Stay at home and watch it. Let somebody go to the game that's going to participate. That's my answer to it.
Paul, can I just...
that sums that up is, when it goes quiet and it's come on, City, come on, that's the one.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Gets it going again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paul, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Well, come on, I want to elaborate on what Riz has just said a little bit.
Go on then.
An example, right? So you get the players who come out, they do the Premier League line, la-di-da-di-da, yeah? And the announcer, Alex, he reads the names out of the players. He'll go Edison, the crowd will, hey. He'll get to Grealish. I'm not saying the boo. He'll get to Mahrez. I'm not saying the boo. But the cheer is not, it's not like...
The same.
The players would pick that up undoubtedly.
Of course they would.
I think that's why they go out of the way to give those guys support. When the crowd's slagging a particular player off, I'm convinced they go out of the way to say, listen, you might not like him at the moment, but he's our mate and we're going to stick with him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's it. But there's two quotes here that really sum up. I don't know, these are a bit extreme, but I pay £900 a year for the season ticket. So it's my prerogative to moan when the side dish up crap week after week. Week after week? You might have 20-minute spells and things like that.
If he sees his GP, he can get medication for that.
And the other one was games gone, titles gone, squad's gone. This is half time against Tottenham. Games gone, titles gone, squad's gone. This side is rotten from top to bottom.
I know exactly who said it.
I actually thought we played okay until the goals. Not many chances, but a good level of control. But then it's a carbon copy of United. Mind-boggling, stupid lapses in concentration, and we hand it to a Spurs on the plate. I've no idea what's happened behind the scenes, but it's abundantly clear that Guardiola has lost it.
Thank you, Mr. Josh.
Was that signed Alex Ferguson?
I'm not going to say who it is, but at the end of the day, I really can't understand the mentality of that.
The mentality of it is of that certain person is he's never got a good thing to say. When he loves it when it goes wrong.
That's not having not a good thing to say. That is mind-boggling inane. Crap after week, week after week, week after week.
Whoever it is, if
20 minutes, 30 minutes,
crap in
even
the
half an
comment,
hour.
it should have been deleted.
Well, it's somebody's point
But
of
they
view.
do walk
If they're
amongst
not
us.
swearing, you've got to let it go, haven't you?
Here's one for you.
You do
right?
walk amongst us, unfortunately, and
I don't-
we're all entitled to our opinion.
Yeah, you don't have to agree with it.
Any match-going fan, and you see, the thing is these days now, when you say this, because of the woke society that we're in, you have to explain yourself when you say a match-going fan. You know, as though people say, "Oh, what gives you the right? Do you think you're better than us because you go to the matches?" Well, no, but I actually go to the matches and contribute to the atmosphere, the club itself. Sitting at home watching it on the TV, all you contribute to is Sky TV or Amazon dodgy stick funding. You know, you're not contributing anything if you sat at home watching it. I'm not talking about those who can't afford it and all the rest of it. But when you're coming out with statements like that, you're doing it to basically get likes, clicks, or just basically
That is
get attention.
That is a match-going fan.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, where's he going then? He's not going watching City because he's
telling us he's going. So
he needs to go to Specsavers then, doesn't he?
Hang on a
He's
minute.
a 10-year-old.
Hang on a minute.
Paul, can I ask you a question? My turn now, Andy. Shut up.
Atwell. I think that's the guy's name. I think it's Atwell. I can't read it very well.
Atwell.
Paul,
Yes.
what's happening with South Stand? It's not the same as it used to be.
There's been a bit of stuff with stewards. Stewards have started getting a bit. What's the word I'm looking for? Overzealous, I think the thing is.
Right.
The other thing is I know this. I thought the atmosphere was miles better against Wolves. I would say though,
before the first goal went
matches,
in, there was nothing.
Well, there was when I was in it. I think you may have a problem with sound over your end, mate.
Possible.
Because you couldn't hear the booing and you couldn't hear the singing, and we didn't.
No, but then I'm going to kind of agree with John, because even after the second goal went in, all I could actually hear was the Wolves fans singing 2-0 to the library.
No, that was the City fans.
Singing, Anne-Marie.
I thought it was the Wolves fans.
No, that was the City fans. That
was us singing it.
Well, it wasn't very
We were
loud.
taking a piss. They didn't sing a thing throughout the whole game. They were absolutely silent. Any noise from that end came from us. So whatever you heard,
it did.
came from us.
But it was normally, I don't know why, but it normally reverberates around the ground, but it wasn't doing. It wasn't carrying on.
Where's this
Nobody else was
where
singing.
it's quiet and everyone's miserable? I'm interested. I might start going again.
Listen, I thought the game against Wolves, I thought it was a marked improvement of what's gone throughout the whole ground. But
It was.
the reason for me why the atmosphere has been bad in the last few games is the fact that they've not put the away fans next to us. They've stuck them right at the back.
Yeah.
And there's been no banter between the sections, and that's the problem when you separate, you separate that singing section, because the fans that were in there that fill it are all day trippers. So most of them are watching the game from behind a phone, an iPad, and they don't know the songs. They don't know what's going on. They just stand there videoing the game. So whenever the opposition aren't next to between the two corners, if you like, behind the goal, the atmosphere is bobbins because there's no.
Do you think we need 2 singing sections, one at each end of the ground?
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah. We need something going on.
Andy's saying no. Andy's saying no.
We need something because the family stand off for nothing.
Hey, we're not in Wales. We're not in Wales now, you know. We can't have a little stand with bass and tenors over there so they can stand.
Hang on a minute. Anne-Marie, I take exception to that. I take exception to that. The reason why I take exception to that is been absolute rubbish on Twitter. Things like they don't need to extend the family stand; it needs knocking down. Do you know something? Let's look how many goals are scored in the second half when we're kicking that way.
I'm not saying that. I'm blaming it purely on the fact that it's the family stand. That's the issue.
Hang on, whereabouts do you sit?
Colin Bell.
Yeah, they offer nothing. Apparently,
I'm not saying we do because the majority of people that are sitting where I sit are elderly.
Mm.
Can he not sing, old people?
Singing for 90 minutes.
Riz, I'll tell you something else. The South Stand's not all what cracked up what it's all to be anyway. Because there's been time. It's not, mate.
You know, Andy. If we don't sing, nobody sings.
We've touched the nerve with Savage.
No, hang on a minute. So, no, these are some of the comments what I've seen on Twitter this week, right? And I've challenged 1 or 2 of them. Like, we should be kicking towards the South Stand in the second half. Why? The arrogance of them who's sitting there. Why?
Don't matter which way you kick.
No, but these are the things. These are the comments. What I've seen this week. Let's look at how many goals we score in the second half. Oh, is that kicking towards the family stand? Enough said. Carry on.
Yeah, but it's not like playing in front of the Cop, is it? I'm just putting that out there. Or playing in front of the Stretford End, playing in front of the family stand.
Well, I tell you what, this might not be a popular thing to say on a City PUBcast, but the South Stand or any stand at the Etihad is not as loud as, say, the Cop or the Stretford End or you know, other like Dortmund or, you know, any ground like that. It's not. It's collectively quiet at the Etihad.
Isn't every ground the Cop? The Cop, Stretford End, none of them are.
We don't pipe crowd noise in like they do at Tottenham and like they do at Liverpool. We don't do it. What you hear is what you get.
Riz, but for people to point fingers at the family stand. Hang on a minute, there's more kids in the family stand. That's what it's called.
And that's what I'm saying.
It's called the family stand.
No,
yeah,
and
why can they not sing?
Andy. You're not going to generate an atmosphere as such in the family stand as you are in the South Stand because of the kids. The kids don't know the songs. The kids are too young to know most of the songs.
That's the parents' fault for not teaching them. All my grandkids know every single City song, and we substitute the swear words. There is no excuse for anybody in that stadium not singing. So what we're saying is, young kids can't sing, and neither can old people. Bollocks. Everybody's got a voice, and everybody can sing.
Listen, I know for a fact, because I sit in the family stand, that they do know all the songs and stuff like that. It's just a myth, because I say we'll do a seat swap one day.
You're not having my seat, mate. There's no way you're having my seat, mate.
I don't want John Baker.
I don't sit down where I stand.
Say again, mate.
I don't want to sit in the library, Riz.
You want me to mute Andy, did you say?
Seat swap.
What, like on a match day?
Paul's moved in next to Adam, and Andy's gone and sat with Riz's kids, and everyone's ran off. And it's like,
you don't even go.
Oh, it's all right. I don't need to go up and see what's going on.
Right, here's a story for you. I took my grandson to see...
anything about the ground, to be fair.
I took my grandson to see City versus Everton in the FA Cup, I think it was.
Yep.
So I went in the east stand lower in the corner. Not behind the goal, but right in the corner. Pretty much where I am now, but the other side.
Yeah.
So I've been telling him, we've been teaching him the songs. I was telling him what the atmosphere was like and how good it's going to be. I didn't want to take him in where I normally go, because
you should have done.
Yeah, I should have done, and I should have done. So I took him in there. So within, before the game, the atmosphere was a bit bobbins and it got going. So we stood up singing and he followed me. He said, just do what I do and all that. And he was loving it. Anyway, the game starts and they made a break down our side. So somebody stood up in front of me. So I stood up and he stood up and all you heard was people behind was, sit down, we can't see, sit down. Just stand up then. Just stand up when it comes near you and something exciting's happening. You get to your feet. Standing ovation. Has nobody heard of that? So I just thought after that, you know what? And then I saw it again, Mahrez. Mahrez scored the equaliser, I think, and he ran to the stand. And I saw the footage back on the telly. There were people politely clapping. I was embarrassed. They were stood there like they were at some sort of like opera show. They were politely clapping. We was going mad in our section. Everybody, and then they went to there. Mahrez went to there. He must have stood there and thought, "Oh my God, what's happened? Is it offside?"
My kind of people.
But you get people going to the cup matches who don't go to league matches. Yeah. So you're not going to generate exactly the same atmosphere.
Yeah, but my point is, Andy, when has the family stand or any other stand started a song off and it gone all around the ground?
Well,
ever?
Apparently the South Stand's world class, so we'd expect that from you.
Andy, don't get your hair off again, mate, will you?
Mr. Risby, I'd like to make a complaint in the this brave new world of wokery. I've just been no show to the ground shamed.
Yeah. No. I was trying to talk over it. I was feeling for you.
It was that bald bloke who said
Andy, you can't say anything about people not going the ground.
Yeah, when he gets angry, his hair starts going up. He's like,
Gets his hair off, exactly.
What's you off?
I'm not going. I just think atmosphere is everybody's responsibility. Players, fans, no matter where they sit, but for people to point the fingers at a certain section is out of order.
I don't think it is.
The only thing I'd say about the family
people are pointing fingers because it's fact. It's fact.
The only thing I'd say about the family stand, and it's not a criticism of anyone or anything, I just think it's a bit big for the amount of people that are going. And to be fair, if people have got kids going to school the next day and they can't make it and all this, whether they like it or not, it doesn't look great. It's not anybody's fault. That's just how things are. This is how people get judged nowadays, isn't it? On flimsy reasons.
No, City gets judged on it. Nobody else does. Just City.
Well, fair do. But you know what I'm getting at.
I can sit where I want. I pay me money.
Yeah, you can, but we'll make some noise then where you sat.
I do.
Perhaps if you started, other people might join in. It's quite infectious.
What's going to happen
if you sat in the family stand? If you sat in the family stand, Riz, you'd change your opinion.
Why?
Why? Because it's bullshit what you're saying.
Hey,
Andy.
Andy, the family stand don't sing, mate.
And the South Stand's not the world-class stand what everyone makes out.
Say it was. Nobody said that, Andy. All I'm saying is at the South Stand, if we didn't sing, it would be a library. It's not as good as it was. I get that. I understand that. And that's down to the fact the way the football is. Because like I've just explained to you, the football doesn't... It's not like watching David White running down the wing and all the crowd gets up. It doesn't help we're all sat down and we can blame a certain club for that as well. But, there's only certain people sit down to sing, and that's Val Doonican and Westlife. Yeah. So everybody needs to stand up. But while you've got a family stand with adults in, like you are, Andy, I'm not saying you can sit where you want, mate. You can sit where you want.
Can I just say,
If you've
Peter's
got
a leader
if
as
you've
well.
got a specific section to put kids in so that it's safe, then you don't expect them to sing. When you've got adults sat in the family stand who are capable of standing up and singing and all the rest of it and don't need protecting, then that doesn't help, does it?
How come you use it in the South Stand, only do it at certain times and it's not all the time then?
Why would we sing all the time?
Because you're all
What,
Alec Jones,
Are we
aren't you?
Dortmund or something like that? Do we have a drum banging? No. We ebbs and flows of the game, mate. We respond to what's going on. And if you feel that the team aren't responding, then we start singing "Come On City" or and that's what we do. We don't hear anything coming from the anything coming from the other part of the ground.
You gave your age away there, as it made me laugh when you said, and we used to stand up to watch David work. We were stood up anyway. We could.
Well, Andy, nobody's saying it. The South Stand is perfect and the best stand in the world. It isn't. We all think Kipax was the best in the world. It wasn't. It wasn't every game. It wasn't fantastic every game.
It was.
Nobody ever been. We've all got blue tinted glasses on. When I'm in the South Stand, it does sound noisy sometimes, but it's only because there may be 1,000 people around you who are singing. It doesn't spread to other parts of the stadium. The atmosphere is fantastic in this ground. The best I've ever heard was Hamburg, and that's because everybody in every part of the stadium was singing. Not happy clapping, not politely cheering. We were proper singing. And
it was only a £5 for a ticket.
Exactly. So we had proper fans in there that came to enjoy themselves rather than be entertained.
Prawn sandwich.
I've got a solution.
Yeah.
Put the away fans in a section of the family stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd work.
And then move the family stand and then spread the family stand out everywhere, and then it'll just be patches of singers, and then it'll just fade to nothing again.
There's an opportunity when they build the capacity up in the family stand, is have that for season ticket holders in the family stand, bring the away fans in, because that would do nothing but generate more atmosphere.
Well,
so what
when you go to an away game,
the family stand.
And then we'd be able to see how world-class the South Stand is.
Yeah, when you go to an away game, though, they sing constantly. They don't stop, or it doesn't flow with the game. It's just non-stop when you're at an away match. And
yeah, that's because everybody's together, isn't it? And
everyone's together.
Why the away end at City sounds good. They're all together and they're all with the mates, and they've had 3 hours in the back of their bed. And you've
all had a beer.
Yeah.
Alcohol helps.
Yeah, of course it does.
You're always going to get a better atmosphere away from home. Always. Because people have not, the majority of people have gone right out of the way to go.
And they do it to prove a point as well.
Yeah, well, you can balloon along, aren't you? You're not at home. People don't know you can do what you want. Exactly. But I think it's a problem right across all the grounds getting home fans singing. Because everywhere you go, somebody will say, "Oh, it's like a morgue in there."
Well, it's like Liverpool, isn't it? They sing a song at the beginning and then one at the end, and that's about it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the media go along as though it's some sort of like holistic treatment.
Yeah. No, and then you get what is it? Emirates, the Ivory, the new nothing there.
Well, Arsenal's got better recently, but that's because of what they're doing.
Playing well, yeah.
Exactly. They perked up recently, but that was a library for years and years and years.
Yep. Yeah. But nobody ever said anything about it, did they?
Well, we did. We used to sing it's a library.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
We've got the problem we have is that they pick up on everything we do.
Mm.
So if the attendance is down a little bit, it's like the usual. They can't get us on the football. They can't get us on the football. Nope. They can't get us on how the clubs run. They just look for negatives. Years ago,
But that's, you say they can't get us on the football, but interestingly enough, and I was surprised, on the panel on Thursday night was Micah Richards, Jamie Carragher and Izzy Christensen.
Yeah.
And after Pep's interview, they spoke to the three of them, and the first one they spoke to was Micah Richards, and he said, and this is what baffles me, he said, Pep's done. He actually said, to me, that shows Pep's done. And yet, Izzy Christensen and Jamie Carragher, in fairness, both said that it was a psychological interview, and what he did was perfect, because it took it took it all away from the players.
Well, and the thing is with Micah Richards, everybody's probably bored of his constant laughing and you know, the shenanigans he's getting on with. So he's now probably got to start to be a bit controversial. It's the same as getting likes and clicks. So, you know, I'm not just saying this because of that, what he did there, but Micah Richards I don't think he's a great pundit anyway, to be honest.
Izzy Christensen is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I really enjoy listening
going to say that. You know, she actually got it. She got what Pep was trying to do, and out of all the pundits on there, she was the only one that got it.
Well, Carragher did as well, to be fair.
She lives near me, you know.
Here's a trivia question for you. She's a Macclesfield girl. She's a Mac girl. Here's a trivia question. What's Izzy Christensen? Listen, what's Izzy Christensen and John Baker got in common?
They both know me.
Same birthday.
No.
I know this. They both got blue tick.
Yeah!
Is it? Am I right? Yeah.
But Izzy doesn't pay for hers.
That's fine. I don't mind.
I thought Izzy Christensen was Swedish.
No,
she's a Macclesfield girl.
Yeah.
She's from Mac.
Yeah.
Everybody in Macclesfield lives near John. Because John owns Lyme Park, so everybody backs onto his.
Yeah, there's actually a Macclesfield player in Love Island as well.
That's where he goes deer hunting.
Yeah, but to be fair, Izzy Christensen, I think she's brilliant at what the punditry. She's excellent.
I do. Yeah.
Do you agree, Anne-Marie?
I do, indeed.
Hard-working midfielder, she was. I like good player.
She was a decent player.
She's still at Everton.
There are genuinely many good quality female pundits out there. Genuinely, I don't think that. I'm not.
I rate Alex Scott.
Yeah.
Riz, what's gender got to do with it?
Well, because it just. That's my opinion.
And I'll tell you who else I rate. Sue Smith, who's on Sky quite a lot. She's decent.
Karen Bardsley,
or a presenter.
Well, she does the commentary on some of the matches on.
Can I ask a question?
Saturday.
Karen Bardsley.
Are we actually going to talk about the football?
Well, I don't know. I just didn't want to bring up anything more about the different stands because I think we touched a nerve with somebody.
Could you talking out your posterior?
Yeah, he got his hair off, didn't he?
Reeling you in.
It was nice though.
So let's talk about Mahrez.
We did at the start.
We did at the start, yeah.
He's been playing well.
Just love talking about him.
You're not going to get me on that one.
So, who would you suggest in the team is not pulling the weight at the moment? I'm not going to say anything about Cancelo, but I know he can't get a game.
Calvin Phillips, he's not pulling the weight.
He's out of his depth.
Yeah, Calvin Phillips is out of his depth.
No, I was just doing the joke about Pep saying he was overweight. He's not pulling his weight.
Calvin Phillips hasn't. How many minutes has he played?
He played quite a bit against Southampton and didn't do anything to inspire me. And he came on yesterday, and it might only have been for 10, 15 minutes, but again, did nothing at all to inspire me.
And Marie, 77th minute, he come on, and he made 5. He gave 5 free kicks away.
Well, I rest my case then.
Yeah.
When
he came on, we had our backs against the wall basically because we were not the same team.
No.
As soon as Rodri goes off, then it's a whole different team.
Do you know what Pep did? you know what Pep did brilliantly as well yesterday? Younger Rico, towards the end of the first half, was starting to lose his way a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Pep made the change at half time. But Rico's been brilliant, but he's bound to have that little and special mention as well to Cole Palmer. I think he's not been great when he started and stuff, but when he came on yesterday, I thought he showed a bit of form.
Yeah, the thing is with Cole Palmer, he just needs to get, he's a little bit greedy at times.
Just needs to get his head up a little bit.
Yeah, he needs to pass. Remember, there's other players on the pitch.
He needs to be given time because, he's playing with a whole different standard of player than he's been used to.
Cole Palmer's issue. Cole Palmer has the problem where he's the kid that's been promoted and he's playing in a team amongst his peers. And he doesn't fully believe he should be there yet. Foden did it when he first came into the team. Rico didn't. He just dropped straight in. But I've seen it with
early days
players where they come into the team and they've not got the belief that they should be in there, and they don't feel fully part of it. You'll start seeing him develop and mature, and once he does, and he fills out a little bit, then he's going to be a good player.
John, you're going back to your question. Let's go through them then. Who deserves to be in, who doesn't deserve to be in? Edison.
Yeah, because, he made a howler against Spurs, but then you look at the fourth goal against Spurs, and he can do stuff like that anytime.
Yeah.
I don't think another keeper can do that kind of stuff.
For me, Ake, Akanji, Stones, super. I think them three are superb. I'm a huge fan of Nathan Ake, and I'm so glad that we kept him. Akanji, every game he plays, he looks absolute class. The
only thing with Akanji, he seems to slow the game down a bit too much.
Well, because he's got no pace himself.
Yep.
But it's what he does with the ball. And the reason why I would always have Ake ahead of Laporte, you get Ake at times when there's a bit of a lull. Ake carries the ball forward a bit like Stones. He does. He carries the ball, and that seems to get to get him going. Whereas Laporte, he just seems to ping a cross or something like that, rather than try to bring the ball out.
The other difference for me is, and I noticed it yesterday, Laporte will go forward with the ball, but he can't cross a ball. But Ake can.
Yeah.
But I was interested. Tottenham have just gone 1-0 ahead on the cusp of half time. Harry Kane, man, which puts them 3 points behind United.
Oh,
if they don't qualify for Europe, that would be quite funny.
Midfield, John. I would have said De Bruyne doesn't deserve to be there at the moment, but yesterday in particular, in the second half, he looked absolutely bang on the money. He seemed to have got his mojo back a little bit.
Yeah, I'll wait till the next game to see if he's got his mojo back.
Yeah. But even Bernardo's not the same player because he really wants to.
Bernardo isn't.
Gundo looks as if he's already at Barcelona.
He looked a bit gutted when he missed that absolute sitter.
Not sure
that he should have scored.
Yeah, I think he missed it because he was on the family stand side. If it had been South stand, he'd have put it away.
He'll have been off on the family stand with all the women breastfeeding. That's what it was.
Can we just have a minute respect for that touch that
Pardon?
Mahrez
for the non-goal
at Tottenham? That first touch when he left.
When he left the other one on
his backside. I think we need a minute's respect for that. That one touch alone.
Yeah.
It was way beyond world class.
It was funny because a similar ball came across to Grealish and he sort of messed it up. And then straight after, the ball moved across and it went to the other side to Mahrez, and the similar ball came off and he just trapped it. And somebody near me a few people said, that's how you do it, Grealish. And then we scored.
No, there's not many people in the world that could do that. He just he's trapped it, turned it and pushed it all in one movement.
You must have learned that with Anne-Marie.
Is disallowed one? His disallowed one yesterday was class as well. You know, he didn't have anything to lift it over, and it was an absolutely class little dink over. So are we saying now that Grealish, you know, our forward players, Grealish and Mahrez on current form are undroppable?
Yeah,
I am.
I would. Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah.
Marie.
Undroppable. I don't think anyone's undroppable, but you're going to need.
I think we know
a real specific plan to say, right, I'm going to play so and so rather than one of those two. But yeah, they've certainly got the form.
If you had to pick your strongest team at the moment, forgetting tactics and the way the way the Pep wants to set up against the opposition, if you had to pick your strongest team on current form, you've definitely got Grealish and Mahrez starting. No shadow for me.
I think Haaland likes Grealish as well playing there because of his ball retention.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Rico gets the start ahead of Walker.
Yeah, absolutely. So yesterday's match, we saw Grealish get a clear penalty. Why wasn't it given? Before I say why.
Because the referee messed up slightly beforehand and should have given a free kick away. That's
absolutely.
Why.
On the halfway line.
I know, but just 3 games running, we've had VAR go against us. Last week at Old Trafford, Thursday night, Richarlison's handball, and the clear penalty on Grealish yesterday.
Haven't the FA come out and apologised about the goal given by United?
No.
I've heard somebody's come out and apologised about it. I think it was the FA, but the PGMOL haven't.
No.
I think the only person who came out was Rashford when he tweeted "Manchester is red." How?
He's got that's clickbait, mate. Clickbait.
I'm sorry, you'd be ashamed, wouldn't you?
Is he that lad? He's not the brightest.
Did you hear what he tweeted a couple of hours earlier? Well, a couple of hours later, it's even worse.
Well, that he needs 2 new employees for the food bank he has.
No. Southend, fantastic. South Stand, make more noise. That's what he tweeted, Andy. He's going to really annoy you on that one. Family Stand.
Is that what you've read, or is that what you've read or heard at the match stand?
No, that's what I've read on Rashford's tweets.
Yeah. He said we were feared to death when we were kicking towards the South Stand. We were feared to death. He said we were so happy when we changed halves and went to the Family Stand.
Yeah, we love attacking the Family Stand because the people there are soft as sugar.
Yeah.
Can I just remind you it was actually played at Old Trafford? Cheers, anyway.
Yeah, we're talking about the other game, aren't we? When we do play.
Is that another one you didn't go to?
Goals down at the other end.
Oh, Andy.
Hang on now, come on.
Behave.
Play fair.
What did you?
Can I just say? I would only ever say that.
Bang your heads together.
No, I would only ever say that amongst friends, having a bit of banter. I wouldn't normally say it. I would never tweet it or anything.
I didn't catch what you said.
Passing comment on your game going, John.
All right, yeah. No, that's fair enough. Just a shame you weren't there back when I was going.
That's why I didn't go.
Yeah.
John, if you ever need a ticket, let us know.
Thank you, John. Yeah. Where were you in the 70s? Probably not born.
I wasn't
born, mate.
Yeah.
Before you involved me, I wasn't born in the 70s.
No excuse.
Yeah, why? You were born in '69.
No, he said where was he?
Doing it for Anne-Marie.
He said he wasn't born in the 70s.
Well, I was only born
summer
in
of '69, weren't it, Andy? Huh?
Yeah. And Marie, what was it like when football was played in black and white anyway?
We won the league.
You'd know more about that than me, Andy. Wasn't it your birthday this weekend?
Yes,
what age is that? Is that 55?
27 years of age. Still got a full head of hair.
Tell you what, you might mock it about being old in the Europe and black and white and all that, but we did actually win a title in Europe and we did win the league. So get that in your little pipe.
Was that Popeye then? Was that Popeye? We've got Popeye and Olive on the show.
There you have it, mate.
Yeah, you look like Olive with that hair.
He looks like Johnny Marr.
No, he looks like. You remember the Antil mob? And they had the Bowley brothers.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's disrespectful calling the stuff what our sponsors have paid for.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, good point. Well made.
Thing
So
is,
who's
Paul,
next up? Who's next
Paul,
up?
who are
Who's
the
we playing
sponsors?
Exactly. Not been
You
mentioned
two
yet.
dickheads.
No, because
Is it?
when I'm hosting, I set the screen up right with the sponsors. Don't John.
Well, when somebody drops it on me within 2 minutes saying, can you host tonight? Because I can't do it.
He was
So,
Andy was in makeup. So he was having his hair
Anyway, Alan likes it better
In
when I
makeup?
do it. Don't like you being
Alan?
on.
it's all right. I'm going to block him.
No,
done.
you're not.
Alan Hansen.
Only kidding, Alan. We love you, really.
We do.
So,
Right,
who've we got
anyway.
next, John?
Who we got next? Arsenal, FA Cup game on Friday.
Oh. Do you think this is going to affect anything in the league, or is it a one-off? I
Just a
think it could have
question. I asked
psychological.
the question, would it be better if we got knocked out of the FA Cup? So we'd have less games and Arsenal have got more?
No.
No.
Or should we just annihilate them now and then annihilate them for the other two games?
What gives us the right to pick and choose what we're going to win? Don't you remember the time when we'd been desperate to get into a semi-final of any cup competition? So why do we get like the rags now? We pick and choose what stay in, what we don't want to stay in.
It's because the thing is, we've moved on now, haven't we? So we're actually fighting on all fronts. So, if you have to, you want to win everything, but sometimes you have to prioritise something. And when you've got a squad like the size of ours, well, not the size of ours, but the quality and depth of ours, then you've got a lot of players to keep happy.
To be honest, I would like to win the FA Cup so that we can win the FA Cup, the League, and Champions League all in one season.
Yeah, but
Go out with one of them. Clearly, you're not going to be able to do that, are you? So
yeah.
No, but I don't want to become like Liverpool last season, thinking they were going to win a lot.
Then
well,
we're
that's
nothing.
them, innit? How you can win it?
Where they are now.
2 cups and not score a goal in 180 minutes is beyond me.
Yeah,
But,
exactly. And that's
If we
why
were
the Champions League for me is a Mickey Mouse Cup.
Yep.
I saw a Liverpool lamp on sale earlier, and it said perfect for the middle of the table.
It's not even perfect for the middle of the table. It's perfect
I'm ready
for
to get
underneath
that
the table.
tumbleweed switch.
Oh,
I just think if we was playing Tiddlywinks, City were playing Tiddlywinks, I'd watch to win that. I don't care. I don't like it when we weaken teams and stuff like that.
The response from my daughter is, no, I want us to go for it because we can beat them, and we can do it. We can do it.
I'm glad somebody in your family talks sense.
I asked a question.
My bank manager doesn't want us to go on a cup run.
Winning,
I'll say bank manager. It's my wife now. My wife.
Yeah, your wife
doesn't
now.
want us to go on a cup run. Yeah.
winning breeds winning.
Yeah, it does.
So if we had a, say for instance, we put a so-called weakened team out against Arsenal. I get your point, John. If we put a weakened team out and they did us, that's a defeat. Then we've got to come back from a defeat for the next game. And it's easy if you're winning. You're in that habit. Like
What's a weakened team at City?
At the moment, I'd say Ortega, Walker, Cancelo, Bernardo, Palmer, Phillips, Alvarez, Foden. I would class them as our weakest.
Sergio,
Exactly, and that's a weakened team.
Gomez.
Yeah, but let's not forget.
Most of them
Where's these-
players would walk into any team
Diaz.
in the Premier League.
Yeah, but let's not forget those are out of form players.
Exactly.
You know when you say
That's what I'm
Yeah, but
saying.
Kev's out of form as well.
You know when you said success breeds success, what did Leicester win after they won the league?
Doesn't matter. I think it's moved on a little bit, hasn't it, since then?
It was only 5 years ago. Or
Yeah,
6
yeah.
years ago.
Andy, you're saying them are out of, they're not playing as well as you should do, but neither is Kev.
He did yesterday.
Yeah, he was good yesterday.
Yeah, he did. Second half.
But the thing is, he's played himself into form there, hasn't he? Because he's tracking back, his possession was brilliant, his crossing was getting back up there yesterday. He's chasing the keeper down, chasing everything. I just thought he was back to looking. I thought we got our City back yesterday.
The whole team did that yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the whole club did that yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought it was the
I
family
think it was
stand.
inspired by what
stand.
Pep said.
No, by the family stand.
No. No.
Anyway, on that note, I think we'll
Was
finish.
the sale of Haribo's up in that? Is that what it was or something? They sell more packets of Haribo's.
Yeah, John, I think you need to take control now.
Aren't you United after them? Once Harry Kane knocked them back, they went after Harry Bow, didn't they?
Alfie Bo.
On that note, I think we'll finish now. Andy,
That was a good idea.
John, behave. Good lads.
You still sort of shan't mind.
I swore.
On then. I've just
Swore again.
Me mic.
Oh.
You're going to thank the sponsors.
Yep, I'm going to thank the sponsors for sponsoring us, for Andy to get his hair done. Not for the podcast, because it doesn't cost us anything to do it. It's just free. It's just our time.
Right. What? You keep saying that. When somebody does a podcast, is it somebody in particular what it costs them?
I don't know, but people say that thank you for our sponsors, because without them, I couldn't do this.
Who have you heard say that?
I'm not sure, but there's quite a few.
Name one then.
I'm not naming no
Andy,
names.
behave yourself.
Sorry, Mum.
He's much more controlled. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's working at, but his office is all blurred out. I think he's in some sort of glue factory.
I think he's in a prison cell.
I had too many Haribo yesterday.
Anyway, back to the mentioning the sponsors.
Yep. So, yep, our sponsors are Prestige Car Repairs,
Where the repair is prestige, not the price.
Aquagas Heating and Plumbing of Warrington.
You haven't got a
And
line for you.
no, I've not got a logo like that, mate.
You need
Haribo.
And what's the other one, Andy?
At 3 Retro.
3 Retro.
That's
Anything retro shirts, they're the guys to go and get it from.
We're still waiting for ours, though.
Track suit top from Andy, because that's a
No,
bit of a retro style.
No, as my son says, I actually look like a Russian thug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Put your wig back on. You might look like an Italian mafia now. No, he just looks like a mank.
Yeah, he looks. looks like a fat, lucky like him, Maradona.
I feel like Max Wall now.
Good evening.
He twisted my melon, man.
On that note.
On that note, thanks, guys.
Get rid of it. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Cheers.
Night, John Boy.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Hey, let's be careful out there.
Night, John Boy.
Good night.